Welcome back. In this segment, we're going to explore the effects of weight on diabetes and what we can do about it. You might have been told by your doctor that you need to lose some weight to help your diabetes. It is important to keep a healthy weight and lose the extra weight if you are in the overweight or obese category. Being overweight can make diabetes worse. A study led by Peter Nordstrom at Umeå University in Sweden and published in August of 2016 followed and compared 4,046 genetically identical twin pairs with differing levels of body fat over 12 years. Results showed evidence that our body mass index, or BMI, does affect our risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The findings confirmed the link between obesity and diabetes. Therefore, weight reduction should remain the cornerstone for the prevention of diabetes, reads one of the conclusions. Another study, Diet, Lifestyle, and the Risk of Type 2 Diabetes Mellitus in Women from 2001, which included close to 90,000 people, concluded that obesity and weight gain dramatically increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. But it is not the only total amount of calories that you intake and the BMI that counts. It is also the distribution of the macronutrients, fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. If you're overweight, losing just 5 to 10 pounds can significantly improve your blood sugar. Here are some tips to get started. Use smaller plates. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Keep a food diary. Drink 5 to 8 glasses of water daily. Eat slowly. Snack only if you're hungry. Don't skip meals. Be active. Avoid trigger foods. Plan your menu. Eat home-cooked meals more often. Take your time and be patient. Keep appropriate foods on hand. These are just a few suggestions to motivate you and help you get started on your journey to a healthier you. And now on to exercise. Exercise, just like insulin, helps sugar get inside your cells. It is like a medicine for your body, and it is one of the best ways to a healthier body, vitality, and longevity. Before you begin a new exercise routine, it is helpful to ask yourself two very important questions to prevent injury. What are my capabilities? What are activities I can do without accommodations or with a little help? Appropriate exercise should be a bit challenging, but physically possible and not painful to you. What are my limitations, if any? If you have physical condition, had recent procedure or surgery, consider your limitations and adopt an exercise appropriate for your condition. Go at your own pace. When we exercise, there are multiple changes that occur in many organs in our body. The muscle tissue adapts based on the kind of exercise, the duration, and the intensity. For example, if you do endurance exercise, like running a few miles, that is a low-intensity endurance exercise, and in this exercise, you're using primarily carbohydrates first and then fats as fuel base. If you do strength training, weightlifting, or higher intensity exercise, you're engaging much more of the muscle mass and you're using primarily sugar or glucose as a fuel source. So different type of exercise, the duration and the intensity affects how muscles metabolize the fuel. What all the different types of exercise have in common is that they're all beneficial for your body and for your blood glucose. Exercise can also help you lose weight and keep your heart, muscles, and lungs strong. Do an activity you like. Sometimes the exercises that will burn out the most calories or that will get us in shape the fastest are not the ones that we enjoy. When the activity is not something you particularly enjoy, it will make it hard to stick with it for a long period of time. On the other hand, if you select activities you like, we might not even feel like an exercise, but rather as having fun. Plan your exercise just like you would plan an appointment. If you happen to miss one, always make sure to make up for it the next day. If you're someone who exercises outside, plan for the weather. Sometimes a rainy day can be the perfect excuse to miss an exercise, so plan ahead what your exercise would look like. Is there a magic number of minutes or type of exercise that can get us fit quickly? Exercise is very individualized, and the same type of intensity of physical activity can have different results on different people. You don't have to run marathons or be an athlete in order to stay fit. The World Health Organization has stated that physical activity 5 times per week at half an hour a day at moderate intensity is the minimum in order to stay fit. This is the minimum to prevent diabetes and other obesity-related conditions. If you choose to do less, you will have to increase the intensity. The higher the intensity, the less time you will need to use. For children, the minimum recommendation is an hour a day for at least 5 times per week. According to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics Evidence Analysis Library, the amount of exercise needed to lose weight is between 150 and 420 minutes per week, unless of course there are some kind of medical conditions. 150 minutes is the minimum number of minutes per week. Less than that does not really result in any significant weight loss unless the person is on a very restricted diet. The guidelines point out that there is a correlation between the number of minutes of exercise and the amount of weight loss. More minutes or duration of exercise equals more weight loss. Considering this information and your condition and capabilities, you can make an informed decision on how often to exercise. Now let's look at the intensity, because not all workouts are created equal. Your personal exercise plan must also include the intensity of the exercise. This is an indication of how hard you're working. It is a general divided in 3 categories: light, moderate, or vigorous. Now let's look at the intensity levels. Light physical activity. This is the type of exercise that will not cause you to break a sweat or speed up your breathing. The simplest method of determining the intensity of your workout is the talking test. You should be able to sing while performing light exercise. Some examples are leisurely walk, gardening, light housework, relaxed bike ride, fishing, etc. Now let's look at the moderate intensity. Moderate physical activities are those activities that get you moving fast enough or strenuously enough to burn off 3 to 6 times as much energy per minute as you do when you're sitting quietly. Some examples are brisk walking, dancing, bicycling, lawn mowing, and others. Now let's see the vigorous physical activities. With 75 minutes per week at intensity level, you meet the CDC exercise requirements for health. This is a very intense physical exercise that is more than 6 times the metabolic equivalent. Some examples are jumping rope, hiking uphill, race jogging, soccer, heavy house chores, shoveling, and others. Here are a few examples of exercises that can help you burn 100 calories. Running at steady pace for about 9 minutes, yoga for about 45 minutes, riding a bicycle leisurely for about 35 minutes, dancing for about 25 minutes, walking 3 miles for about 35 minutes, swimming leisurely for about 20 minutes. So what is the best exercise to prevent and control diabetes and to lose weight? It is the one that you will stick with and the one that you will do and enjoy. When given the choice, try to pick an exercise that requires more effort. Higher intensity exercise in general is more effective at improving your health. It is best to start with smaller amounts of physical activity at moderate intensity and gradually increase the time and intensity. Here are some important safety rules. Always allow time to warm up and stretch. This will prevent injury. Always allow time to cool down. Drinking fluids before you start to exercise and drinking additional water during exercise that lasts longer than 45 minutes is crucial. It's really important to invest in a good pair of shoes. As long as your physician approves, you can add weight training. Consider weather conditions for your activities. You want to set minimum and maximum temperatures at which you will not go outside to exercise. Stay disciplined and remember your goals. Mahalo and aloha.